Yep, that one Psyche-Lock. That one singular, solitary Psyche-Lock. If I could just find out what secret she's holding, then I think I stand a chance in court tomorrow. To blow this case wide open and expose the truth. I think I know what you're thinking. I'll contact the detention center. Thanks, Edgeworth. Well, let's go, Pearl-chan. It's time to open that last lock. March 22nd, detention center, visitor's room. Good evening, Mr. Wright. Kinda sad that Blue wasn't here for this. Hold on just a sec. Oh. Kathleen said good luck on the stream. Yay. One second. I just saved, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Wright. What's wrong? You look ill. Miss Andrews, I have come to remove your Psyche-Lock. Psyche-Lock? I want to know, and you will tell me, your secret. Fine, go ahead. Try to break me if you can. I can't believe he just said it! You know, I'm gonna reload, because that was a cool line. I've come to remove your Psyche-Lock. Psyche-Lock? I want to know, and you will tell me, your secret. Fine, go ahead. Try to break me if you can.
Take that!
Why frame him? Can you please tell me why you framed Mr. On Guard for the murder? I've already told you countless times. It's because I thought Matt was the killer. No, that's not it. I know you have a personal reason to dislike Mr. On Guard. Miss Andrews, you may think I didn't hear it, but I know you said something earlier. You said revenge. So you're saying I was taking my revenge out on Matt, and that's why? What an absurd idea. I don't have anything to want to take revenge for. Miss Andrews, a woman who lives by being dependent on other people. There is something or someone in her past that would make her take revenge. It's Celeste.
Take that!
Celeste? There's only one catalyst that would cause such strong feelings, and even revenge. And that is Miss Impax's suicide. What are you trying to say? Celeste was Juan's manager. On top of that, the one who hit her suicide note was also Juan. I know we did this earlier today, but since we're gonna break it, let's just go. What does all this have to do with Matt? You're right. You haven't mentioned him yet. But for you to hate Mr. On Guard, it would mean that he must have some relation to Miss Impax and her suicide. Can you explain to me this relationship? This relation between Celeste and Matt? Is it? It's the photo, isn't it? Yes! This is a photo of Miss Impax, correct? She looks younger than when she passed away, though. With love, Celeste. This is Miss Impax's handwriting, isn't it? Where did you find this? No, that's alright. It was a rhetorical question. Yeah, it is. I found this at Mr. On Guard's mansion. And after all this time, my last remaining secret has been revealed. Should I lean in when I do her voice? 'Cause I'm being quiet and breathy. Unlock successful. I really like that line earlier as well when he's like, I want to know, and you will tell me. Celeste. She was supposed to get married to Juan. Yeah, I heard. But I heard that it didn't work out. Yes, because of Matt. I think I can see where this is going. Really? I can't. Celeste. She was Matt's manager a long time ago. She was the happiest woman in the world at the time. Do this. That's a nice photo. I was working part-time back then, and I often saw the two of them together. So that's why, with love, Celeste is written on the frame of that picture. It wasn't anything as splendid as that. Celeste was being used. Toyed with until she was thrown away. Matt's entire image is built around how nice and wonderful of a man he is. A scandal would have destroyed that, which is why Celeste, in her kindness, moved over to Worldwide Studios, and that is where she met Juan. She seemed really happy with him, even happier than when she was with Matt. Celeste and Juan were such a good match that they were even planning to get married. And then it was suddenly called off. On the night Juan called their marriage off, Celeste, she killed herself. And that's why I framed Matt. It was revenge for Celeste and for myself. I'm sure even you can guess why Juan called the wedding off, right? Matt confessed to Juan about his relationship with Celeste. I see. So that's what happened. Wait, so Juan thought she was cheating? It was probably because of his worthless mail. Oh, what? He didn't want On Guard's sloppy seconds. I think what I thought it was would have made this more valid. Like, he confessed and was like, yeah, I'm still seeing her, dude. She's playing you. Even though it wasn't true, but, you know, he lied. But no, it's just, I penetrated her that one time, bruh. Anyway, Juan and Matt were always fierce rivals. Matt waited for the wedding announcement and then unleashed the truth on Juan. He was aiming for when it would hurt Juan the most. And it wasn't the end of it. That day, I'm almost certain that Celeste left a suicide note behind. And in that note, she left a detailed account of Matt's various misdeeds and... so that she would never again be hurt by Matt, she chose to die. Then, when Juan discovered her body, he hid her note. It's simple. Juan realized that note was a powerful weapon against Matt, and would be especially damaging to his refreshing like a spring breeze image. In any case, with his pride hurt, Juan sought revenge. Revenge. There's that word again. Juan wanted to publicly disclose the contents of that suicide note. At a time that would cause Matt the most damage, of course. And that was at the press conference after the stage show. I know all about it, because I heard it all from Juan. It was so I could find out about all this that I drew close to Juan to begin with. They're quite a pair of hideous monsters, aren't they? Even Celeste's death was something for them to use in their game. That night when I found Juan's body, it was only natural that I thought the murderer was Matt. Those two were always spying on one another after all. As for me, I was frantically searching for Celeste's suicide note. I wanted to destroy it before it ever went public. I was going to burn it. I'd even brought a lighter. But I couldn't find the suicide note, and that's when revenge crossed my mind. Yes, I was going to bring to them my own kind of cruel revenge. Celeste was killed by those two monsters. So when I stabbed Juan's body with that knife, I didn't feel a single shred of guilt. And that's all I have to say. Well, Mr. Wright, even knowing all this, are you still going to help that man? I'm a lawyer. I see. What a foul profession. Thank you very much for your time and for talking with me. It was no big deal. I couldn't sleep anyway. I can't sleep either, not with my situation, or with what I know now. Oops. Huh. So we're done. Oops. We're done with we're done with the second day of investigation. That was short. Guess let's keep going. How did I get into this mess? Why is it playing the song from the beginning?
That's far enough. You can't run forever, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Isn't this the dream from the beginning? We did this already. What have I done wrong?
I cannot allow you to go on like this.
But I'm just a simple defense attorney.
Silence. You are no longer worthy of your title.
Okay. Good. I've had this dream before, so as if this day was written into my destiny. Today, I'll stand in court as a lawyer to prove a killer innocent. March 23rd, 9:43 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Yeah, I mean, we might be starting Digimon quicker than I thought. Hello, this is Phoenix Wright. You don't look so well, dude. You're gonna prove me not guilty today, right? He's doing it in public.
If you please, Mr. Lawyer. Remember, it's not just me. Your precious friend's life is riding on today's verdict, too.
Now listen up. You'd better get on guard a guilty sentence, okay? If you get that creepy slime bag and I'm guilty, I'll never forgive you ever!
Maya. Oh, hey, Mia. I forgot about that. Maya, how's Maya? I don't know. You don't know? She hasn't tried to channel me since yesterday. Mia, what am I supposed to do? I watched another streamer play this, and the first time that Pearl channeled Mia, and Mia was like, yeah, I was in Maya's body earlier. He was like, broken ability. Mia OP, please nerf. And I guess they did nerf, because she didn't do it again. Well, like I said, for a lawyer, the worst of times are when you have to force your biggest smiles. But you can't give up. There's still some hope left. Stop it, please. There's nothing left. Not here. Not anywhere. Who the fuck keeps calling me? It's that cursed on guard again. Will you leave me alone? Look, don't call me anymore. I mean it.
You're really mean, pal.
Ah, Gumshoe! I'm really, really sorry. I thought you were someone else. Where are you?
They let me join the investigation team and we're chasing after the killer, pal.
Then you have some sort of lead?
Sorry, but right now we've got 0 leads on the guy. But we're not going to give up.
Gumshoe.
Until the trial is over, until the verdict is handed down, we're gonna do everything we can and find the killer, see? If we can get my out, then you can get on guard the
Guilty verdict.
he deserves, pal.
That's true. I could do that if they found Maya first.
You got that? So you have to do whatever you can to make the trial last longer.
Stall! 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 I have to make the trial
Last longer.
If you go with Mr. Edgeworth with everything you got, then you two can draw it out, see?
Oh, now I get it.
I believe in you, pal. You and Mr. Edgeworth can do it, see? So, believe in us. We're going to give it all we've got, just like you, pal.
Got it. Thanks, Gumshoe. Hey, Phoenix. You understand now, don't you? You have something money will never be able to buy. Friendship. It's the strongest weapon in the world, and you have it in abundance. Yeah! Looks like we're coming to the end. I have to make the trial last as long as I can. Gumshoe will come through, I know it. March 23rd, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 3. We'll go for another hour.
Court is now in session for the trial of Matt on guard.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. I'm gonna move the mic just slightly. There we go.
Now, as I recall, we concluded yesterday's session with a big mystery on our hands. The mystery being what exactly was Miss Adrian Andrews' role in this murder. That is to say, is she really connected to the crime itself? Mr. Edgeworth, if you would please inform the court of today's proceedings.
Adrian Andrews. She forged evidence through suspicion onto Matt on guard. I love the weird, kind of sexy pose they gave her. And then proceeded to escape the crime scene by wearing a nickel samurai costume. The guilt of these actions are those from which she cannot escape.
Then you're saying that she is guilty after all.
I'm not finished, Your Honor. Miss Andrews has nothing to do with committing the actual murder. I would also like to direct the court's attention to this card.
What is that? It looks like a shell.
This is the calling card of a certain assassin.
Assassin, you say?
Yes, Juan Corrida was killed by a professional assassin. And the person who hired that assassin, his client, so to speak, is Matt on guard.
What a surprising turn of events!
I would think it's become commonplace by now, Your Honor. I know what's going on this time, so I know that everything Edgeworth has said is true. But we still have to hold out as long as we can, at least until Maya's safe and sound. Man, wouldn't that be cool? Like, the instant that, he gets a call being like, we've saved Maya, you can, stop now. And he's like, Your Honor, fuckhead's guilty, he kidnapped my friend. I wonder how the trial will turn out today.
Now then, please call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth, and let's compulsively save once more. It's been 7 whole minutes.
The prosecution calls the defendant's mentor, Mr. Will Powers, to the stand. Sup, Will? Now then, witness, your name and occupation, please.
Okay. I'm, Will Powers. I'm a poor, underpaid action star.
And what is your relation to the defendant?
Well, I guess I'm sort of a lousy mentor to him in a way. Yeah. Mr. Powers, you don't need to put yourself down so much. Oh, sorry. Well, but I'm just kind of a nothing sort of guy.
Wow. On the night of the murder, you visited the defendant's room. Is this correct?
Yes.
Huh? I didn't know that!
But I didn't actually get to see Matt when I went.
All you need to do is answer what you're asked. Now then, I would like you to please testify about when you went to Mr. Onguard's room.
Okay, sure. Do. Visit to Matt's room. After the award ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. Matt was standing there in front of his room, still in his nickel samurai costume. He was talking with someone. At first, I thought it was the bellboy. I watched the two of them for a while, but then I gave up and went back. I had guests with me that night, and I couldn't make them wait for me. Nothing sounds out of place in Mr. Powers' testimony.
Talking with the bellboy is no big deal. If one assumes that the person Mr. Arngard was speaking with was an ordinary bellboy.
What are you implying?
Well, Mr. Wright, let's have your cross-examination, shall we? Looks like we're in another sticky situation. Huh? A trap. Can't you smell it, Phoenix? But for us to find out more, we're just going to have to charge in head first, right? The defendant's room? Why did you go there?
Well, I'm his mentor, like a big brother, sort of, and I wanted to say congrats. What's wrong? Why did you stop? Mr. Wright.
What is it?
You're going to try and trick me into a corner, aren't you?
Huh?
I know I'm just a poor, underpaid action star, but I'm not the killer.
No one said you were, Mr. Powers.
No, please don't trick me. Every time you do your lawyer thing, the witness suddenly turns into the bad guy.
Every time? Witness, I will personally talk to the defense at a later time. So for now, please kindly cooperate and continue with your testimony.
Sorry. So you went to the defendant's room and then?
Hey, wait a minute! When and how did I suddenly turn into the bad guy here? Are you sure that was Matt on guard?
Yeah, I'm sure. He wasn't wearing the Nickel Samurai mask then. Mask. If
that's the case, then he really can't be mistaken. And? What was the defendant doing, standing in front of his own room? At first? What do you mean by that? He was wearing a bellboy-ish uniform. And he had a bottle of juice on a tray. Oh,
he was wearing a bellboyish uniform and he had a bottle of juice on a tray.
Sounds like an ordinary bellboy to me.
Yeah, but I didn't think he was a normal bellboy.
And why was that?
Why did I think that, Mr. Wright?
How am I supposed to know?
Sorry, but I can't remember right now. Sorry.
So I'm gonna have to wait patiently on this one. You saw the two of them, the bellboy and the defendant together, correct?
Yeah, the bellboy just wanted to say congrats.
Now, while you were watching the two of them, did you notice anything strange?
I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip.
A tip? That's a perfectly normal thing to do.
So, how long did you watch the two of them? Not more than a minute or two, I think.
Who were these guests?
It was you.
So who were these guests you're talking about?
You guys, of course. You and Maya and Little Pearl. I thought it would be really rude since I invited you guys if I disappeared on you. So I went back to my seat pretty soon after seeing Matt in the hallway.
It was like squeezing water from a stone. It's probably pointless to press further. Do you remember this incident? Did Mr. Powers leave his seat that night? I don't remember that happening at all. Maya was making such a racket in her hyper state. I ended up focusing on her. I don't remember either. I see. In any case, from his story, he probably wasn't gone for very long. Oh, okay. Okay, it's objection time. Huh. Oh, excuse me. I have no idea. Guys, do you have any idea? Because I don't. Did I press everything? Like, what was weird about it? Oh, what? Actually, Mr. Powers, only a few minutes ago he stated...
You know, I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bell...
What the hell? Could it be that you felt something... So we're supposed to... Now we're supposed to be pressing things multiple times. What the hell? Could it be that you felt something strange about the tip-giving incident itself?
Ah, yeah, that's it. You really know your job. Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor.
This bellboy, he wasn't an ordinary one, was he?
Perhaps we should let the witness tell us.
Very well, Mr. Powers. Please amend your testimony. You mean about the bellboy, right?
So gave the bellboy a tip? What's so strange about that?
Well, you see, Matt's not a poor penny pincher like me. I was trying to figure out how much it was because the tip really shocked me.
How much it was?
But that's when something even more surprising happened. The bellboy was putting the tip he got in his pocket, and that's when I got my first good look at the guy's face. I was really shocked. I'm afraid I don't follow at all.
Sound like Mr. Powers was surprised twice by this event. I wonder which moments... Face. What was so shocking about the bellboy's face?
Well, he wasn't exactly a boy, more like an old gramps. I hope you know that discrimination towards old men is a no-no in my court. No, that's what I meant at all. In the smack middle of the guy's face, there was a line of stitches. A line of stitches? Yeah, it went straight from the tippy top of his head to the bottom of his chin. Almost like that if that thread snapped, all the stuff in his head would come spilling out.
He was there at On Guard's house. Is that guy? Why does he look like that? He was that butler.
What is it, Mr. Wright?
Nothing. So that means On Guard was talking with Day Killer then. If that fact were to be exposed, On Guard would be declared guilty in a blink. Phoenix, you have to play dumb here. Pretend you don't know anything. Yes, Chief.
You sure you don't have anything you would like to say, Mr. Wright?
Huh? What did you just say, Your Honor?
Nothing, Mr. Wright. Nothing. We're just going around and round in circles. Now then, Mr. Powers, please continue with your testimony.
Maybe I should ask about the tip. The defendant is a huge star. He can afford to give generous tips, wouldn't you agree?
Sure. Giving him that much was maybe a little too much, I think.
A little too much? Was he paying him for, like, the crime? Would you please clarify for the court about how much you would say the defendant gave to the bellboy?
Honestly, I don't know. I can't even begin to guess. And why is that? Because he gave the bellboy really really fat roll of cash.
A roll of cash?
Ah, well, how interesting. That certainly was a very generous tip, wasn't it?
A very fat roll of cash. That can hardly be called a tip, Your Honor. The judge is beginning to look awfully suspicious of us. Objection! Stalling for time. The defendant is a superstar. That kind of tip is typical fare for people like him. Are you saying that all superstars are super spenders? Yes! If I could receive large rolls of cash, simply by bringing people things on trays, then why on earth would I stand around here prosecuting? He's got a point. I don't even get paid, let alone rolls of cash for all my hard work.
So supposing that roll of cash was not a tip, then what was it?
Payment, Your Honor.
Payment.
Or
Payment?
isn't it obvious?
For the murder of Mr. Juan Corrida. Then the bellboy the witness saw.
Yes, he was the assassin.
Hold your horses now! Mr. Edgeworth, you don't have any proof of this, do you?
Have I ever been unprepared to support my claims, Your Honor? I have here the card Shelley Day Killer left at the scene of the crime.
Shelley Day Killer.
He is the person the police's special investigation team has been chasing for ages. I'm certain that the person the witness saw was this very assassin, Shelley Day Killer.
Really? Really?
Wait a minute.
What's wrong, Mr. Powers? No, nothing. Something just clicked in my head, and I think I just figured something out. Oh? Actually, I saw that bellboy again later on that night.
Nani?
Mr. Powers, please testify. Tell us what you saw. Yes, sir, right away.